Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. I fear this might be a quick one, you guys. I am not feeling well today. I feel like I'm definitely getting sick. I have a very sore throat and I'm all achy and I'm just really hoping I don't get the flu before I go away. I literally just told you guys that I'm going to be off all of next week because I have this giant professional opportunity to speak at this global conference, this global tech conference. And there's a lot, not riding on it, but there are different partnerships and stuff involved with this. So I need to rest. Thankfully, Annabelle does Wednesdays for me on the pod. So tomorrow I can really just rest. But yes, I am not feeling the best. So if my energy is not totally on point, that's why. All right, let's get into the stories for today. The first story that I have for you guys is I need to talk about the reheating nachos meme. So this is the latest phrase sweeping the online space, quote unquote, reheating nachos. And Annabelle was like, you need to talk about this. This is a meme that's emerging. And I was like, I have never even seen this before. I've never felt more offline. She was like, wait, you haven't seen the meme about Lady Gaga reheating her own nachos with her new song? Or you haven't seen Addison Rae is reheating Britney Spears' nachos? And I was like, what are you talking about? I literally felt 100 years old. Okay, so this saying first gained traction on Stan Twitter, as so many chronically online memes do, but it is seeping into other online communities and platforms like Reddit and TikTok now. Basically, reheating nachos is typically used to talk about someone who is emulating or copying someone else. Obviously, most people are using the phrase to talk about celebrities or influencers. As Owen Carey writes for Know Your Meme, quote, reheating nachos means to try and fail to co-opt the aura or swag of another person or one's past self, akin to how when nachos are reheated, they're usually soggy, less crispy, and not nearly as delicious as when originally cooked. In the same article, Carey credits the meme's origins to a clip from the reality TV show Baddies West. The clip showed one cast member stun a girl eating nachos while another member looked on as she ate them, seemingly wanting a bite. From there, the term nachos started to gain popularity. Users would typically say X wants Y's nachos, often implying a sense of jealousy between the two public figures. But last month, this phrase took on a life of its own, with social media users introducing the reheating aspect of it. Reportedly, the first known viral use of this phrase was a quote tweet about Doja Cat, with the post reading, quote, kinda need her to reheat these nachos for the next album. Aside from this, there has been a lot of talk about how Lady Gaga's new song, Abracadabra, reheated Bad Romance's nachos. That's the example that Annabelle gave me, and I was like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. As this one tweet reads, reheating Bad Romance nachos, and the microwave kind of cooked it unevenly, but most of the taste is still there. Another reads, Gaga reheating her Judas nachos mixed with Alejandro chicken. There's also been a lot of discourse about Shakira reheating Beyonce's nachos. For context, Shakira has recently embarked on a new tour, and her visuals, the font, and overall vibe of the show is just very similar to Beyonce's Renaissance tour. As one popular tweet reads, she's reheating the nachos too much. Unplug the microwave. These are just the in-jokes that make the internet a fun place. More of this. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys, this is so random, but I saw Jen Love's post about this, and I was like, you know what? This is actually relevant and interesting. Morphe is reportedly trying to make a comeback in terms of influencer marketing. So it seems that Morphe is going back on its promise to move away from influencer collaborations following its bankruptcy. So in case you guys missed it, we covered this quite extensively, probably over the last 18 months, but around the end of 2023, the president of Forma Brands owns Morphe, said that following the brand's bankruptcy, the brand's direction would be product first, not influencer first. Obviously, you guys know Morphe was influencer first when it came to their marketing strategy. And it was all about like giving all the biggest influencers these huge collaborations or Morphe codes or whatever. And I mean, it worked, but only up to a certain extent, because then, of course, so many of the influencers that they collaborated with got canceled and people turned on Morphe. However, just a year after the president said this, it seems that Morphe may be backtracking on that statement. So the brand, after it said that statement, after they said that, they did do a collaboration with TikToker Meredith Duxbury, and it seemed to go well. So they did, I think, 2 collabs with her. And now it seems that they are going after the big influencers again. I mean, Meredith is huge. Like, she is a giant influencer. But it seems like they're like, okay, well, that went well. So maybe let's just like lean back in. So they have recently been doing some type of like influencer stuff, like gifting, whatever, with Michaela Noguera and Jeffree Star. I just think the era of Morphe is over. I just think the PR around Morphe and how they've done business, like obviously like Meredith's collab did well because it's Meredith, you know, like she has a huge following and stuff. And I guess that's kind of the point is, you know, they tried to go the product first route and it didn't work because nobody cared about them. I don't know. I just think they haven't done enough. Like they needed to have almost like, I'm sure I get it. In business, you can't just like stop, you know, to like do a rebrand. Like I get you have to like keep things going, but it would have been much more impactful if they had actually taken a proper step back for like even like 6 months and then like relaunched the entire brand. Been like, we're wiping the slate clean. Like this is our new direction. This is our new aesthetic. This is what we're going for, whatever. That would have been so good. And I actually think that would have been received really well. But unfortunately, they haven't had one of those like PR moments that they need to get their reputation back on track. So like, I don't know. But trying to send PR and working with these like giant influencers who have a paper trail, a digital paper trail of their problematic histories. Jeffree Star, case in point, you know. Michaela is obviously not as problematic, but, you know, still, she's had a lot of controversies. Maybe they're just realizing, you know, when you work with influencers, that's just the risk you take in general. Like, you're always going to have that risk that, like, they say something, they do something from their past comes up, and, you know, you really can't control all of that. So if you're going to do influencer marketing, you might as well just like go for gold, go for the biggest ones that you can afford. And if they get canceled, well, then maybe they'll deal with it differently than they did last time. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you buy from Morphe? I do like some of their products. Like I like their brushes. I like their Ariel set of brushes. I still use those. Like I do like some of their products and I understand like for the price point and stuff, they were quite good. Like some of them were quite good. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to come back like reputation wise. Okay, the last story that I have for you guys is that Kai Cenat is apparently going to be launching a streamer university. Kai Cenat is one of the most famous Twitch streamers in the world. And now apparently he wants to help you become a Twitch streamer too. In a February 13th stream, Kai announced his plans to launch a streaming university. Quote, I'm going to rent out a university over a course of a weekend. It will be streaming university. Okay, I'm going to rent it out. I'm going to put out enrolls and applications to people to enroll into the university. No matter if you're big, no matter if you're a smaller streamer, you can stream the entire weekend. I will get dorms. Boys will have their own shit. Girls will have their own shit. I'm principal, so I get to have my own office and all this type of shit, all right? And then he said that he has high hopes to bring in other influencers to teach certain courses. So he said like Mark Rober teaching a class on science and Mr. Beast teaching a class on finance. It's not that I don't think you can get valuable information from creators or influencers on certain topics, but I just think it worries me. Like, we are just in such an age of, like, anti-intellectualism, like, anti-expert, and it worries me that this is going to be possibly taking place, if this goes ahead, possibly taking place at a university. Obviously, it is not like an official university course. It's not going to be marketed like that, but still, it will be at a university. You know, it's like that university experience for a weekend, and you're getting all these courses, and you're learning about important topics from people that are not professors in that field. I feel like it wouldn't feel like such a big deal to me if we just weren't in this age where like young people and just people in general, but especially young people, like don't value education or like listening to experts in the same way that we used to. And I feel like that is maybe not the vibe, but I think in general, the idea of this streamer university is kind of cool. It kind of sounds like a temporary collab house more than anything. Like that's actually where I see the benefit could be. But this would not be the first of its kind. In 2023, Taylor Lorenz reported on the emergence of Creator Camp in Katy, Texas. The camp is for children ages 6 to 13 to learn how to be digital creators. And I don't think this is by any means the only creator camp, but this is like the one that was reported on. Creator Camp was founded by a group of young creators who wanted to help kids, quote, develop a healthy relationship with technology, one that fosters creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. Attendees are taught technical skills like video editing, storyboarding, scripting videos, and of course, vlogging. And they can also use green screens, costumes, lighting equipment, whiteboards, and iPads at the camp. I think the Streamer University would be actually really beneficial, especially because there is such a unique culture in streaming, and there is a lot that can go wrong when it comes to streaming because it's live, you know? There's just like these unique elements to it that other platforms don't have, like unique problems when it comes to moderation, swatting, like just things that happen because of the nature of you being live that don't necessarily translate all the time to other platforms. So I actually think it could be a really beneficial resource if it's done right. Ideally, not with courses taught, in my opinion, by other creators, unless it's going to be about something that is like so creator specific. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a hater. Now that I think about it, I guess like if you think about Mr. Beast teaching a finance class, like do I think he's the right person for that? Probably not. However, maybe there are not a lot of, experts or professionals that would be well versed enough in like the actual economics or like the finance side of like generating income as a streamer. So maybe a creator is the right person to talk about that, but then I still feel like they would need to have like an accounting professor or someone like with them. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about this too much. But yes, that's it for the stories today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. Please rate, review, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 star ratings on Spotify specifically. And also, if you don't listen on Spotify, just leave us an Apple review, comment on YouTube, subscribe, all of that. We love you guys. And Annabelle will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.